Rob Quinn here, CEO of a sales agency, and I'm excited to share with you what we're currently doing in our seven-figure company to develop a high-performing team, both sales team and the rest of our company culture. So this way, maybe you can apply a few of these things and see an immediate increase in performance overnight. So let's get started. So what I'm going to share with you today is all the different elements that we're using on a weekly basis to be able to create more structure, more team alignment, increase performance as a result of it, as well as constantly innovate and have more invention-based mindset in the company. The reason why you want this, in case you're wondering, why the heck should I apply all these things? I'm a smaller company, or why should I apply these things? I'm a bigger company, I already know what I'm doing. The reason why you want to apply all these different things is because this is going to be what constantly moves your company forward, even if you disappear. So for example, if I were to disappear from the sales agency, God forbid, the company already has these things in place. If I were to disappear for whatever reason, it would continue to innovate every single week. And we'd be able to continue our progression like we have over the last 3 years of doing 190% growth year after, well, not this year because we're projecting 500% growth over last year, but you get the idea. So you're gonna be able to apply these things in your business. I wanna make it actionable. I'm even gonna include down below a link where you can download one of our team meeting structures to apply into your sales team meetings in the morning. But I'm gonna cover everything else with you here today. So without further ado, let's get rolling. All right guys, so we're gonna start with the essentials. Number one, sales team meetings. Now, a lot of the time, depending on who you talk to and the size of the company, they may tell you, man, meet with your team once a week, that's all you need. But I can tell you in confidence, as a personal top performer, when I was selling for other companies, whether B2B, door-to-door, or B2C, and billion-dollar corporations, I can tell you that that's not true. You need to have frequent team alignment, the frequency in your messaging so you could be aligned in the company, basically bleed the company. Right? Have die-hard team members. Like I was a die-hard team member on any team I was on, which I was a top performer. You can only do that through increased frequency. The same way that your parents, typically more times than not, are going to have more influence on you is because of increased frequency. You see them every day, right? Or same thing with your ads. If you're running retargeting ads, the reason why people want to buy faster is because of the increased frequency in seeing your ad. Frequency creates more influence. Repetition creates culture. Habitual habits every day. So the sales team meetings we do Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Time, and our end of day sales team meetings we do at 5 p.m. Central Time. We also do midday check-ins Monday through Friday as well, which are going to be in the middle of the day around 1 p.m. Now, what I want to do is go over why we're doing each one of those, okay? So your start of day meetings are really specifically to get projections. What is everybody committed to? How well do they know their business? And then you're also setting the entire tone for the day. You do not do any coaching on these meetings. If you were to kill somebody's momentum before the day even starts, you've lost the battle today, okay? You guys probably in other videos have heard me talk about winning the battle, winning the war. You've lost the battle if you've already crushed the momentum. I see a lot of bad sales managers do this on their team, where they're trying to coach up on things they saw the previous day, that's meant for the end of the day, okay? Now I'm gonna fast forward to the end of day. Your end of day sales meetings need to be recapping the day, looking for gaps of opportunity to coach up on for your team. So this way, at that point in time, they're learning something. How could they have closed the gap so the rest of the team can hear about it? And are you set up for tomorrow, right? Because even if you won today, if you're not set up for tomorrow, you lost the war. Okay, you cannot be taken by the smoke screen of winning when in reality you did lose the war. Okay, so you got to win today and be set up for tomorrow. This is also going to include something we refer to as a feedback loop on our team. A feedback loop is when our departments, because on these end of day sales meetings, we have our recruiting department, we have our appointment setters, we have our closers, and we have our account managers, and we have our sales manager all on this meeting. And the reason why is because every department connects with each other because we have an assembly line process, right? We do handoffs with each player on the team. Appointment setters to closers, closers to account managers, right? Account managers working with the recruiting department because we have a recruiting offer where we staff appointment setters and closers for agencies and coaches to help them grow their sales department. So it's important to have all these people on the same call to embrace our feedback loop and everybody communicating with each other finding long-term solutions for things happening now, and shortening that process, thus making our clients happier and allowing us to move faster as a company. Next is going to be your midday check-ins. Midday check-ins happen about 1 p.m. You do not need to hop on a call for this. You're going to use whatever internal team communication channel that you have, whether that's Slack or Monday or whatever you're using. I'll include what we use down below in the description of this video. But in that midday check-in, you're going to include where you're currently at, how many meetings you have left on the calendar, what's left to be projected, and then that's all you're going to have on there. And then after they answer, your sales manager is going to come in and say, are we going to close the gap? Which is essentially where they're at now to what they committed to in the morning. And then if they did already hit the commitment, how can we stack on the number? What can you commit to stacking on top of that today? And then lastly, the sales manager is going to ask, how can I support you in that? Whether it's closing the gap or stacking. So this is what we do in our start of day, midday check-ins, and end of day sales meetings. So you can apply this with your sales team. All right, now let's get into the next thing, one-on-ones. So you as a sales manager or you as a business owner, if you're kind of in the infant stages of building your sales department, you need to be having one-on-ones with your team members. You need to, I cannot stress this enough. Look at it this way, in the Super Bowl, a Super Bowl game for football can change in 1 second. 1 second left in the game can change the entire game. Shoot, they could run it back for 90 yards. They could take an onside kick and run that back, right? So if you can completely change and turn a football game that should have been lost into a winning game in 1 second, imagine what an entire week can do in a human's life. It's so important to make sure you're hopping on 30-minute one-on-ones once a week with your players, whether that be appointment setters, closers, account managers, media buyers, marketing team in general, executives, whatever that is. You gotta hop on with them. Gotta be able to see, get a pulse check of where they're currently at, what they feel like could be improved in the company, where they feel like it's going well, and what's gonna be completed the next week. So this way you have eyes on everything, okay? Next thing that we do on a weekly basis is an all-team meeting. Now, this is more than just our sales department. This is everybody in the company, right? Whether that be executive assistants, personal assistants, marketing team, account managers, closers, recruiters, appointment setters, COO, everybody is on this meeting. HR, everybody's on this meeting, right? This is to be able to celebrate our wins. We always open up with shout outs. So everyone on the team is shouting each other out for what they noticed about somebody in the previous week. We then follow that up with personal wins and business wins for each individual person. And then we follow it up with announcements. Was anybody hired? Are we doing any new events? Are we uploading any new assets or events or functionality into the company? And then what is left in order for us to accomplish our projects and revenue for the month? And then what we have planned out in order to close that gap. So this is how we run our all-team meeting on Mondays. Now you're probably asking yourself, oh my gosh, I'm super busy. Like, there's no way I could do that. There's no way I could do all of those meetings, right? And here's what I can promise you. If you feel that way now, you will stay stuck. So I'm just gonna be really blunt with you, change your mindset or choose to stay stuck. Next, for your all-team meeting on Mondays, just give you some an idea of how we're able to do that. So we have 16 full-time players on our team. So we have 16 people on that call. In order for us to do all those things for the all-team meeting, it takes us 45 minutes to an hour. So I promise you when I say this, if you have a team of 2 or a team of 3 or a team of 20, you absolutely can be doing this structure. If you have a team that's greater than 20, well, all I can tell you right now is we do not at the time of making this video, and I may make another video in the future when we have 100 employees, which we should have by the end of this year, if not the middle of 2022. So anyway, this is a structure that we have set up on a regular basis every week in order for you to function at your highest level and build a top performing team. I'm gonna leave you with one more meeting that we do during the week that you may want to implement now. You may want to wait until you have a leadership team, which is up to 6 people that are in different departments that you would trust to be able to make those higher level decisions without you, and they run ideas by each other and by you. So this is something that Amazon does as well. Every week, they have a meeting once a week to discuss what's going to be built out the next week, what isn't working right now. And this way you can start planning for the next phase of the company. You constantly need to have 2 to 3 things already behind the curtain being built out and worked on that nobody can see. We constantly do at the sales agency. We always have 2 or 3 things that are being worked on. So while everybody's trying to figure out what we're currently doing right now, it's like a magic trick, right? Look at this hand, but this hand's the trick. So we do the same thing. Everything we're doing currently that everyone tries to copy or do some version of, we're already working on 2 or 3 other things. So by the time they can copy that, or even if they do copy that, we're already on to the next thing. So it's important, if you always want to stay ahead of your competition, to be meeting once a week with your leadership team to go over what's working well now, what's not working, and then how you can systemize what you're currently accelerating. Because there's 4 stages of business where you test, you build, you accelerate, and you systemize, right? So systemizing is taking technology to accelerate time on the things that you're currently accelerating with labor, right, with manpower. So these are the things that we do on a weekly basis in order to keep the sales agency innovating and inventing on a weekly basis and to keep us performing at a really high level. Again, we'll do 500% gross revenue increase this year over last year and a 33% net profit increase as well. So if you guys want to do something similar, this is what I would suggest to implement out of the gate. And again, I'm going to include down below a link to download our morning sales team meeting structure. So you can start implementing this with your team as well. And then we'll have some other links down there, depending if you're trying to move fast or you're trying to move a little bit slower. We'll have free assets and paid assets. So this way you can do that, right? So I'm excited to see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you felt this was helpful. Hit the notification bell if you want to see the next video that comes out, and drop a comment below. Let me know what you thought about this video, your number 1 takeaway, and what you would like to see us make a new video on. I'll go down there and personally comment on these and check them out as often as I can, and I'll see you guys on the next video.